Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to another episode of City Skylines here in Falls Town. Guys, last episode we got some of our train infrastructure all set up. Pretty much exporting from the farm area that we got added in recently. Since last episode I've kind of expanded the train network to make sure it's all hooked up and all linked up, and it's a pretty solid system right now, then a few little tweaks here and there. But we're pretty much ready now to go back to our regularly, there we go, we get the right word out, a regularly scheduled building episode where today I want to build some residential near the dock area. Now this residential area I'm going to be building is not going to be one of the wealthiest regions. It's going to be one of the poorer regions in the city. It's where obviously, you know, the poor workers live because it's closer to all the, you know, dirty industrial zones for the dock area and the export area. And that's pretty much what I want to get set up today. Now, I've placed in a few little roundabouts already and kind of working where I want the highway to kind of bend round. It's going to be surrounded by a highway. And because there's a lot of traffic in the industrial area, I'm trying to figure out a way in which the residential doesn't use it as much, trying to give it its own little perfect route. So we're going to try and see what we can come up with today anyway. So here we go then, we're back in the place, and I'll show you what I've done. I've done some changes to how the trains come down. I've kind of merged them into 3 tracks as they come down to these here, because there's a lot of backlog here, believe it or not. But anyway, it comes into here now, and because it's island, and now they can do a right. And it goes under the ground, as one train has just used it. And it pretty much goes all the way across, all the way over to this area, where the trains are going underneath, popping up. And there's another section there where it bypasses underground the airport as a way to kind of get it all connected. Because the only connection we had from last episode was over here, which connected up to pretty much down here underground. Which goes around the whole region, which is good. I wanted it, but I didn't really want that to be the main focus point. So now there's another little connection down here, and it works beautiful. So today we're focusing on this area here, which I want to turn it into all residential. So we're going to have like a huge residential growth spurt today. But as always, I need to make sure I got the highways connected. Now, I've got the roundabout just here, is where we're going to have the highway kind of clip onto it, and then that will eventually go down there. But the reason the roundabout's here is so we can connect via the highways up to there. It creates like an in route here. That will create an in route here to this region, and that will eventually bend up and connect up to there somehow. So I want to try and get the residential traffic to use this new highway that I'm adding in. Yeah, they're going to use this one and these connections, but I want to try and get to use this, and then once on this highway, off they go to wherever they want to be. There's going to be one connection here, as you can see, and out of all the areas, this has got the least amount of traffic on, which is perfect. And I don't think I'm going to get them connected to this highway. I want to save that and use this as solely the for the lorries and the trucks going to the export area for the industrial area. So that's why I want to try and get them to use that. So it's going to be a little bit of a challenge. I can't control their minds and what they want to do, but I can at least point them in the right direction. That's kind of what I'm trying to do this episode. So anyway, let's kind of get these set up then. So once we got these set up, we then get a basic idea of how we want the area to be formed. So let's get the all this added in. And we'll go for the curved one here. Actually, no, because it's kind of on a bend. If I bring this up to about here, bring that to there. If I take the snapping grid off, like that, and like that. We're just going to use the mover tools to kind of like budge it a little bit. Okay. Seems pretty good. Just going to move that one over a bit more. Nice. And then we'll have this connected here. So let's get this side up and running. I want to try and give a little bit of a gap so we could possibly create an off section there into that brand new area. And that will pretty much just run straight up to there. And obviously with our snap in there, I can then run it all the way back down in a straight line. Take that back off, get these guys connected. Glorious. There we go. There we go. So let's just kind of fine tune this. Now, I don't actually know how That's perfect. I don't actually know how I'm going to connect it up to here. So I'm going to kind of leave it blank for now. And before we start adding all the zoning in to then let them move in, I'll add it in at that point. So I don't fully know how I'm going to do that connection. Whether I just do something very simple, or I don't want to create another roundabout. Whether we do like, you know, like how we've done in other places, like this kind of system, or like that system, or something like that. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. But this is the kind of rough idea. Once we've got all the residential people moving in, and then I can get a feel for how this highway flows, or wherever the traffic then decides to go, I can then decide whether this needs to have a flyover route, and this as well. But I won't fully know until I got all the residential stuff in. So let's just keep it for that now then. And seeing as we've got industrial road here, I'm going to keep this same pattern. I want to keep it as like, this is the industrial area. We've got an industrial road cutting through it where the residents live off, and that's why this area is going to be classed as such a poor area, so to speak. So let's now officially get the bend on the go. So I'll kind of bring that up to there, where this road then cuts into this area, and I want it to come off here as well. So we'll create that sticks off there, and we'll also create, so I don't know whether this is going to be I don't know if it's going to be worth doing it like that. Yeah, do you know what? We will, because I don't expect a lot of traffic to be around this area, but I suppose you just never know, right? You just never know. So I want to bring these in together. So let's kind of bring this up there, and let's keep going to about here, and let's connect it to this road. There we go, nice little bend. So it kind of goes up and bends around and bends in. And this will be the road that cuts through the middle, which I don't want it to connect to this road, but we could like set it up to where it creates like an in and off area. Pretty much opposite, like, you know, mirror image to that. I don't fully know. So if I was to do that though, it would come off here. So if I bring that out to about there, and then I want to kind of bend that down to there, and then bend that. So I want to create like a small little S, which I think will be really nice. So if I wiggle it to there, and then wiggle that one, and let's see how far I can get away with this. Like that. So it creates a little cut there. Again, it's not all perfect, it's not all straight, and that's what we don't want. We don't really want that, because that's what leads us to kind of have this ununiformed, poor, neglected area. That's kind of what we're trying to go with this area. And because this is such a kind of long way down, I don't want to, you know, they might not use that so much for the traffic, but you just never know in this situation. You just never know. But it'll be interesting to see how it kind of turns out. It will be interesting to see. So let's just kind of get the last little bits and bobs added to this. So let's make sure we don't have that all on there. So that's all good there. Ain't gonna worry too much about that. We'll just kind of set an area up over here. So this is the only bit that I'm kind of semi-concerned about. Is it going to cause issues here? So the space is already occupied there, but if I bend that over, and then just mess around with it slightly, we'll see how much we can get away with it. We'll see anyway. We'll just see. It's one of those things, you're just going to throw the traffic on, and then, you know, just see where it falls. So let's get this little section here set up. So this one's got plenty of room to play around with. I haven't got to be too concerned about this area. There we go. And yeah, so all that's left to do then is kind of bend this round up to there, which I think we'll take a look at doing that now then, before we start adding all the smaller roads in. So why don't we kind of, right, let's take a look then. So If I did kind of just pause the game for now, and we got rid of the rail tracks just for a moment to create a bend. Now, this is the question. If I added that in, would then vehicles, you know, who come down here to do a right to go down there, then use this? They see that as the quicker route? Or here's... I don't know. That's the thing. So, I want to keep the whole thing fully flowing. And that means creating, or trying at least to create something cool. So if we pick a spot, and let's say we pick a spot here. Let's put a snap in on so it goes straight. This is our spot we're going to play around with, and that's where we want the road to simply connect. Right, this is going to be very interesting. So let's go with the 2-lane highways then. And let's say at this point it's already bridged up. Bring one to there. So that will... Well, that's going up to go around, whereas this one's going... Okay, I'm trying to get my bearings on this. Because this is sometimes where I could potentially mess it up, believe it or not. So, what I want is to have this... Right, it's got a slight little bend on the go here, hasn't it? I want to have that. A simple connection like that. But I feel like that needs to be moved down a bit. Right, that would work. But it all comes down to how I get this bend working. So this could be that I bridge it higher to connect in, if that makes sense. So let's try it. Let's try it. So let's say we come back to about here, and it bridges at the first one, and then take the snapping off, as then it bridges up a second one, and then this is where the funkiness comes into play. So if I did that, which goes over, but obviously doesn't look great, but obviously with the power of the Move It tool, we now play around with sizes. Bring that one down, just kind of get a base level, bring that down. So make sure nothing's intruding. And then it's all the right height. And we could potentially get away with that. So, oh, we need to move that one. Let's pull this one back in. Stick that out a bit more, so it looks more natural. Now that should be the right height there, but obviously how this now dips down is disgusting, so we gotta kind of slightly adjust that. So going straight, hooking up to there, that's going to be the drop on it, as you can see. So if I was to quickly throw it down, so, and that's the issue that we're going to have, is the sheer drop on that. Right, okay, so if I delete that, and then we'll do it ourselves. Could I get away with that bend? Have that slightly high. Yeah, I think we could get away with that. But just change the curvature on it. Push that up a bit. Well, that feels really high there as well. Right, I think that's good then. It's good to some degree. So that covers, let me just make sure it covers all angles. So it comes down here and you're going straight down. That'll be a simple connection there, as a simple connection there. Nothing crazy, nothing out of the ordinary. Nothing ridiculous. Just as a simple job. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Okay, so then let's connect this up. So that will connect something like that, which looks really good. So this here would normally then bend round and connect like that. And if I try and do the same like this, and obviously we need to flip it the opposite way around, that then kind of merges those in. But you can see how it kind of looks like it's going diagonal. Alright, is that more... See now, that looks really good. That looks like I just got it off the Steam Workshop almost. I like that. Right. Clearance is not the greatest. But I bring it down a little bit more. We've got a little room to play with there, because there's a nice gap there. Right, okay. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Don't play with it too much now, because that's when I start breaking it. So just bring that up slightly. Okay, good, good, good. And then we need to bend this round and down. So let's get the highway back up. Let's just bring that snapping on. To there. So the bend's just here. So if I bring that to there. That's not, it's not great, that. So if I... That's more like it. And then we just take this back a bit on both sides. And then with a nice bend. Glorious! Right, this is going to work. I mean, not like I was worried or anything like that. But this is going to work perfect. So yeah, it's not until we see traffic use it makes us decide on what needs to have priority, where we create flyover roads and stuff like that. But I just need to get back in now the train tracks. Now, it's probably going to be a little bit awkward this now. But if I bend it like this, it's not too bad, but I still don't fully know the end result of the design of this train tracks, because I don't like this connection here. So this will be adjusted in the future anyway, but for now, put it back into play mode, it's all done. So I wonder if anyone's going to use these roads. That will be fairly interesting to see. Let me just double check that I have got it the right way. So that goes up to there, bound straight down. That in here, down. That straight over that way. That in here, down. Perfect. Okay, good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. Right. So back to this then. Back to this. So again, we're using these roads here, which will also kind of take it from certain areas. So when this kind of goes up there, let's put the snapping on. We'll allow it to climb up to, let's say, about there. We'll take it from. Do we take it from anywhere else? I'm thinking of creating like a couple of like cut through roads, if that makes sense. So I brought that up to there. There, and then that straight down like that, which would be fairly decent. And then if I created one here, but we'll create a bend on this. I'm liking the fact we're using industrial roads as well. You know, I'll create a bend here as well. It's really gonna have like a different. It's gonna be a different feel to this neighborhood than what we've had anywhere else. Right, we'll do one here as well. So we'll have that to there, to there. And I wonder how this is now going to turn out, this bend. Well, not too bad. I just want to create a loop. There we go. So an inner loop around an outer loop of highways. It's quite interesting, isn't it? Right, have we seen anyone use these roads? I probably much doubt we'll see anyone use... Oh, okay. There's a couple of... There's a vehicle here. It's like a... with a trailer. Oh, there's a vehicle coming out too. So it is... Oh, there's another one there as well. So, okay, so this road is useful to a certain degree, I take it. I like how that leads off it as well. So we can have some like buildings overlooking. And let's get the industrial road now for the single roads. So let's do this bottom area, like this outskirt area first then. So we kind of want to create little roads coming off then. So we'll take this one here. Bring it to there. We'll take one just here. There we go. We'll take one from just here for this area. Or should we kind of take it off this road? Okay, let's just work this area first then. So that brought that up and that went across like this. And then we take that there to connect. Again, don't look great. But of course, with the power of bends, I want to create like a distinctive area. Right, I don't know how I'm going to kind of get this to work. Right, so a nice little loop around. And then we just create like little cul-de-sacs coming off it. To kind of fill in all the gaps. Which is quite nice. So nice little grid there. It kind of looks like a skeleton of a fish. It really does, doesn't it? Right, and then let's bring this one out and just snapped in. And then we'll create a little road off there. There we go. So it looks weird, but it's kind of like the poor. It's like there's no order to it. There's no structure to this area. It was just thrown together, built upon roads that were there for years that didn't quite make sense. This is the whole point of this area. I mean, there will be some order in some points. Like here, because it's like a nice little section. We'll create the orderly grid fashion, but then coming off it, it kind of then makes no sense. And I want to try and keep the traffic off the main roads. I'm not saying there's going to be a lot of traffic, but you get the point I'm going with. There we go. So it's not like quite amazing, quite perfect. So there's two inlet roads, and it have to come round on this area, this little section. I've seen vehicles again use this. Yeah, a couple coming down right now, so it is usable. Okay, so that's that one side there. We dealt it with two inlet roads. We'll do this side now, which we can actually take a couple of inlet roads. So we'll take one here. We'll do one here. And we'll do one just there. So let's try our best now. Let's create like a small grid here. And can I get away with one more? Yeah. So a small little grid there. And then when it gets closer to the highway, it's where it just loses all kind of recognition of what was trying to happen. And then let's bring this up a little tad bit more. It's like there was some kind of order to it, but old buildings got destroyed, roads got rerouted. It's kind of what just happened, really. It's quite a distinctive area, isn't it? I like it. I really do like it. So this up here then, we'll kind of create almost like a weird octagon. So you can kind of see where the order kind of was. So what it basically is all this utter confusion. But when you think of it smartly about the traffic, it's freeing up these big roads, creating these smaller inlet roads to kind of control the traffic. So we'll take the inlet roads for the centerpiece off this one here. So we'll bring this out to here. Like that, and then we do some silly stuff again. So with the vastness of this area, the traffic should flow fairly well. And if we do have any build up of traffic, we can play around with extra outlets. I've given myself the space to do that. So I did the same here. Do you know what? We'll actually create a cut through there. It'd probably be used quite a lot by some vehicles. So it'll be our job to kind of change that. And what I could do is just kind of get rid of the centerpiece of it. So it is a cut through, but it's a long cut through. It's not something that you would want to do. You would want to take the main larger road, but it creates the flow of traffic for the people who live in this section. There we go. So it's crazy patterns, crazy stuff going on, but I like it. I really do like it. Okay then, so that's created all that. Then we'll do this side here, then we start getting them moving in. So I am seeing the odd vehicle or two using this. Where's the vehicle choosing to go around? So he goes around here and is going straight down. So they're going to be using the highway near the airport. That's quite cool. Right, okay, so we've got a nice chunk of road we can play around with here. So we'll create an inlet there for this area. And we'll create an inlet here for this area. And then we'll kind of combine them in the middle. If possible. So let's kind of sort this out then. So I'll bring it down to here to do our grid effect. Just there quickly. And we'll do another nice little grid effect here if I can get the spacing just right. Let's take it up from a bit further. Oh, there we go. I've actually got it perfect there. There we go. So you and you. Right. So is it possible then, if I stuck these out by one, stuck these out by one as well, is it possible to get the bend on them? So a little bit funky, but it kind of works. Right, stick it out by one. Now these are getting a little bit further back now. Which is quite cool. It is quite cool. And then we just do our usual stuff. So this area is going to contain a lot of walkways. If you can probably tell already how it's going to happen. And that's cool because it's like as if the road was going to bend round, but they didn't quite have enough money, enough funding for that. So that's quite cool as well. Get rid of that one there, and that's cool as well. So I'm liking this area. I really am. What I'll do now then, I'll get the pipes down because there's a lot of pipes needed for this kind of area, and then I'll add in some of the walkways of the path for where it's needed, so it's just easy access. And we could possibly even look towards getting the subway, the next subway loop line in this area too. So this is quite interesting. It's quite exciting because it opens up a lot of possibilities now for this area. I'm just doing a general loop around, just covering it with water. There we go. And then just chomp it through all the middle. Just so the water can flow pretty much. Again, and so path-wise then, there's no such thing as an industrial path, no. Just a normal path. We'll just kind of get up a little bit closer. Make sure, take the snapping off, all that good stuff. So just each one connects up, so they've got like a way to walk through it. So if I do this now before I place down the zoning, so it's not impossible to walk to areas. And again, if they can walk, then it kind of solves, doesn't solve traffic issues, but it solves some, if you know what I mean. Right, there we go then. So we'll kind of go with that for that area. That can be kind of done there. We'll set this side up now. And this is going to have a different feel to any other area that I've done, just because of the type of road we've used. It's interesting. So I won't do every single one, because not everyone needs it. Just where I feel like it's necessary. So instead of having that connect down to there, just go to here and they can walk down. Same for that side. Alright, how does this feel over here? We'll get one just there. And if you're here, you can just walk around either side, so that's fine. Straight down there. That's all good. Just get one just there. And it's just this area left over here now. There we go. Something as simple as that. Get one just there. Push them out. No point doing it there because there's no like crossroad. And then one there, and then finally the last one there. Everything else is all good now for this area. So we'll leave these three little areas blank here, because we could put down some commercial there, or I might just do all the rest. I mean, I don't think I'd do an industrial area there, but like all the little space that are left, like low density offices. I don't know, or I could just pretty much do the rest of it residential. It depends how much traffic it brings to this area. Now, in terms of subway lines, there's one that comes down here and then stops there. It could actually now go up, have a stop here, and then a stop. Actually bend around, let's have a stop in the middle there around all of it. But how would that loop go? So if I place down, try and get the stop on the other side there. Like that. Does that cover that whole region? It kind of doesn't. So let me delete it. So I would kind of want one like there. And then like here on the opposite side. That's how I feel I would want it. So that comes round. It's an awkward one, isn't it? Trying to work at the space now. We've got 2 there. Where would this connect? That's the thing. Because I could have it a new line going up. Right, if I had it there instead. Delete that one. And then delete that. Just move this one to here. So we kind of create, there's one either side then, so it's not far walking distance. We create like a small loop here. Should be fairly decent. So connect you up. And then we'll just go like a straight connection there. So now I can create. It's like a line there doesn't work. Oh no, you got updated because I placed the thing there. Create a new line. That simply does a simple and basic loop to here. As simple as that is, because you can pretty much get them to there, and then from the train, the subway line that goes the opposite way, just gets them around. It just kind of gets them moving slightly, so we have some form of connection. Right, I think that is it now. It's perfect. So let's get the residents moving in. Right, is it easier to paint? No, I won't paint it. I'll just kind of, well, I will paint it in a minute, but I'll just kind of drop down the easiest ones to get in. And, oh, power as well. How is power going to fare? Actually, let's not get it on that side because it's too close to the highway. Yeah, so I wonder how it's going to kind of work with the power situation. And by power situation, the non-existent power situation. So I want to keep it off the main roads. Well, the ones that bring him into the area, everything else I'm not too bothered about. So I'm just going to dot it around all here. Alright. That last little bit here. No, I'll keep it, stop it there, because that's like an inlet outlet road. Does the power stretch over? It doesn't, no. So we need it to stretch over in some degree. What's the best method for us to do that? There we go, just creating little parking lots under the highway. And then that brings over the electricity to that area. So I've placed quite a few down. And what's going to be interesting now is seeing the sheer amount of traffic moving into this area. So the inlet is here. So they might all come down here and come in to there. Some of them might come from this way down. I don't know how. I don't actually. Do you know what? I don't even know. This is one of the things. You just got to see what happens, right? Okay, so if I pause now, I'm just gonna pause. Just gonna dramatically zone, and then what I don't want, I'll unzone. So up to there. So what I don't want, I'll unzone now. So I don't want it on the inlet road. Just there. I don't want it on this inlet road. Make sure we get the right one. there, 'cause it will cause traffic of people trying to get in. That's pretty much it. And then get rid of all of you. Alright, bye, 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 bye. And we'll keep it there. It's okay to be on the inner side there, because they would have dispersed into their various ways at that point anyway. So that's pretty much as much as I want to get in today, because it's going to be quite a big bulk of people moving in. So if you think about it now, if I put it to fast forward now, we got 413,000 residents in Foolstown. Now, as all these brand new houses slowly start to get built, you see the population now increasing. We're almost at 1,000 increase over the week, which we are right now. So I reckon it will top out to maybe 440,000 once they're all fully moved in. And we're going to see a lot of traffic take place as well. We got a subway loop in there, which is good. This is now all industrial roads as well. So it gives you a different feel for this area. So if they came this way in the highway, they would get off here and go round, which is manageable, but it's not the perfect way to go round. Or you would come down off there and do a turn to go up and in. So there's a little turn off just here. Or you could turn off here, go up, round and come back down in. There's many ways in which you can approach it. Again, I don't have a road cut across there. But then I don't know if I do. I might want to. You just never know. It all depends on where the chips fall, guys, when it comes to this. A couple of vehicles coming around right now. They're just the general traffic. Oh, I like how the airport brings them out. They're choosing to go this way. So where's this taxi going? Oh, picking up passengers. Where are you going? Educate. Driving home. Going to the... Oh, so have they just like landed off the airport? Fresh off the airport? And they're now going to their new house? They could be. It's going to take a while to actually get all implemented in as well. 2,000 a week increase right now. So it will be interesting to see where they come from. It would be. So give me some suggestions on the little remaining spots around this industrial area. We've got the kind of lower, poorer residential people now kind of set up in this area. In those little gaps, what do you think I should place in, guys? Let me know in the comment section down below what you think I should place in. But it's going to be quite cool, man. Having this poorer neighborhood near like the highway in the industrial area. It's pretty cool, man. I like it. Right, so now you're pretty much playing a waiting game until we see where the traffic comes from. And again, another thing why I'm so interested about this is the fact that it's a brand new area, so we don't know where the traffic exists at this point. So once you do get the traffic coming in, then we can kind of see then where it all flows. And then whether we need to add overpasses for highways and stuff like that. It'd be quite cool to see. Right, so they got enough power then. These are all hooked up. Yeah, it's all hooked up part of the main city. So yeah, they're just kind of create that little bridge, that little gap connection just there. Right, nearly up to 3,000 a week population change growth. So you're getting a couple now come in. A lot of them are coming from the airport, as you can see. They're all making this wider turn over the top and coming in. But I'm not seeing anybody come down here anyway yet, but it'll be interesting to find out. All coming down here. No one's really coming in that section just there. It's all from the airport at the moment. It's pretty cool, man. Okay then, so we're just waiting for this now to build up. When it comes to trees then, I probably won't place any trees down until the area is fully functional, up and running. In terms of services and stuff like that, we're going to need the yard 1 or 2 in. And because it's kind of near the industrial area, we can have like bigger factories. So I want to take a look at the factories that I don't have just yet. So unique factories, or are they called warehouses? Yeah, factories. We have stuff like the household plastic factory. We've got the toy factory. What out of all of our industrial areas, who's complaining the most about not enough products to sell? So we've got 2 complaints here for the wood industry. We've got 3 complaints here. No, we've got 5 complaints here for the oil industry. Did I see one there? Yeah, there's 2 there. 2 for the farming. And 2... Okay, so there's a little bit of complaints here and there and everywhere. So by placing down those unique factories, we can then start to give them sellers for the products, if that makes sense. So for the household plastic factory, it takes on oil. We can't really tell. Oil and whatever the other one is. But is it a big factory though? Not a huge one, no. But we can kind of use it to, like, in this residential area, or kind of even over here at some point, to start producing more stuff. Because a lot of these factories we haven't even used yet. And I know some of them are really big. What's this here? This is the modular house factory. So I want to get some of those in, and this will be like the perfect spot. Maybe that's what we use for some of these gaps, some of those types of buildings. Could be pretty cool, right? So again, vehicles are coming in, and these are all fresh off the plane. That's where they're coming from. Are we seeing anybody come down these roads yet? Oh, I'm seeing a little bit of a bulk of traffic now making its way down, so they could be coming to the new housing industry. Any turning off here? Yeah, there's a couple turning off now and then, so making their way slowly. Slowly but surely, they're making their way down. So we're up to 423,000. This is the highest our population has ever been. Let's get a couple of trees. I don't want to make this a huge growth area when it comes to trees and stuff like that. I just kind of want to, you know, I won't put the big green ones down we use for like the forest area. So this is where it kind of grew out a little bit. And we just kind of put the gaps in with the normal trees. So I've reduced my brush stroke as well, so I'm not doing something so heavy. There we go. And then just after the highway, I'll place some these big ones down. It's kind of where then it starts to grow out. You know, where, you know, it slows down a bit, the growth of it. So as you can see there, so you have like almost like a big bushy forest, and then once it gets past the highway, they start to die out a bit as it goes into normal residential area. So they're going to need stuff like fire services and police services in this area as well then. So I might as well kind of look towards getting those set up. So police department, like a generic police headquarters we kind of place here. We'll do same for the fire brigade. There we go. Health-wise, we'll get a crematorium down. And we'll also get like a hospital too. Yeah, where should I place the hospital? Should I just place it over here? I'll place it just in there. So I got a little bit of services to what they need them. Which is cool. Oh, I'm starting to see people up here turning in as well, and so getting more people arrive. Yeah, look, I'm all coming down, turning down now. This is perfect. So with our residential area over here as well, we'll see like the highways and roads be used more too. I wonder how that affects unemployment. 39%. Because we've got 190,000 jobs available, but now we're getting like a big bulk of people moving in this area. Whatever jobs were available in this area, because there's so much industry and stuff over here, can pretty much now be fulfilled. So we might even push really close to the jobs available being satisfied. So I'm just saying, do these have any no, I don't really have any available workers. So where's my little... Wow, quite a few people have serviced here. 386. What about the other one? Which is just there. 1,000 people. Wow. So that's how the majority of the people are currently moving in right now by the subway. That's a lot, isn't it? So that's probably why we're not seeing as many moving in via car, because the subway is doing a job for us. That's really cool to see. That is really cool to see. But I can hear ding-a-ling-rings. The upgrades are coming in, and I wonder where the population will top out at. Then I reckon 140,000. Let's just call it as that. Once this area is fully upgraded, but it's a nice little area, isn't it? It's a nice little area. We have to kind of also zone it too and give it like a district name. So let's add that in. So what's it going to be called? Garland Park, Oak District, Coldridge Hills, Florence Hills, Foggy. Yeah, let's call it the Foggy District, because obviously it's like the district of, you know, residents there. It is a district in its sense, but it's the Foggy District because it's surrounded by all the factories and the dirty industry. So that's why it's called the Foggy District. There's like a little backstory to the name. I kind of like that. Right, let's get... Oh, didn't mean to do that. Let's push all this up and over. All good, all good, all good. Foggy District is now all in. Perfect. I just noticed my planes are still spinning around. I've got the runways going in 2 different ways, but yet they still spin around. Not all of them do it. As you can see, that one's landed perfectly. Does anyone know why they're still doing this? I've changed them around because everyone was saying that I need to have a runway going the opposite way. I've done that and it's still not happening. So annoying, but I really do like this new area. It does look really, really cool. I'm very impressed with it already. Very impressed. Right, people moved in there. There's upgrades happening everywhere. Right, when's the next train coming? Oh, it's here. How many people get off? Quite a few. Quite a few. That just shows you the success of our subway network with how many people are using it. Are we making profit off it? No. Okay, that's even more interesting. We kind of not making profit off it. We kind of floating around to as if we're about to make profit, but we don't quite. I suppose it depends on how many people we're pulling around at one certain time. But that's really interesting. That really is. Okay, we're not making a profit of it. Oh, we're making profit now. Making it, yeah, 2,000 almost. That's really good. That's pretty sweet. Right. When's the next subway train coming over here? We only have one loop going around. Yeah, there's another train coming. So pulls out another chunk of residents in this area. I wonder how many get off at the other one. Over there. Or a train just left. Oh, quite a few as well. It's bringing a bulk of people, isn't it? Right, wait for this train to come round. I'm impressed with how many people it's bringing. Today, please. So normally they all arrive by car, but it just, you know, with how good our subway structure is, our subway network, it covers the majority of the whole of the map. This shows you how good that is if they can all, you know, actually arrive via subway. I mean, they're all getting off the plane and stuff like that and then getting on the subway. This one, so yeah, a couple of people got off that as well. So that's why we haven't seen so much traffic, which is that's a good thing, to be honest. So many planes. Look at these planes. That plane's just taking off as normal. That plane's going to land as normal. But these 3 planes here is like, what are you even doing right now? And the whole reason for me not putting the houses on this main road area was because of the traffic. But seeing as they're all arriving by subway, it's kind of saved us an issue, really, hasn't it? It really has. So we're closing up now 430,000 in our population, which is glorious. So damn good. I am so freaking impressed right now. It's slowly coming together. Look how good this little district now looks. It looks really, really good. Guys, we're going to end it for here today anyway. We got the Foggy District all set up. The poor neighborhood, so to speak. It'll take some time for it to get fully grown, but we'll add in some more factories and stuff like that, the unique factories in the next episode, and try and get more money made. So we can be always in the green rather than floating back and forth as we kind of seem to do at the moment. But yeah, I hope you did enjoy this episode. If you did, smash that like button down below. And until next time, I'll see you all soon. So good. Bye.